Consuming content is part of a daily routine. For some of us, making content is part of a daily routine. But what does this content do to our mind? What is this algorithm that serves all of this sweet, sweet content while you do the dishes, while you're on your way to work, while you're trying to fall asleep? What is it doing? What are the effects all of this is having? And for all the magnitude of the industry, the creator economy is just 15 years old. Let that sink in. According to YouTube, I like hand green, D&D, and AI news. According to Facebook, I like right-wing liberal agendas. According to Instagram, I like music lessons and random Indian comedy. On average, most people have 6 hours of screen time. And we browse content, go through all of this stuff on a digital world, and help shape this algorithm. But at what point does the algorithm start shaping us? And my favorite thing about us as the human species is the multitudes we contain. And I have to ask, at what point do those multitudes start getting flattened? There's one question I want you to think about as you watch this video. What is culture? Think about that and see if the answer changes as you keep watching this video. You might have heard this term already, but if you haven't, Enshittification talks about how all of technology hasn't gotten worse because of some crazy inevitability. It's happened so by design and lack of legislation. So here's how the cycle works. It starts with a company trying to solve a genuine problem. Let's, for this example, take Facebook. When Facebook first launched, it was this amazing thing that was helping people connect with old high school friends that they hadn't spoken to in years, people across the globe, and it was this big network of people. In fact, in the beginning of Facebook, these were literally called networks, and you had to join certain networks. So the company starts by providing some core use and value to its customers and starts off as an awesome product built to solve a certain problem for its consumers. Slowly, as they start growing, they start extracting this value from customers and start giving it to advertisers to generate revenue. Enter Facebook ads. So that's how Facebook makes money, and that's why you see so many ads on Facebook. And once they reach critical mass with these ads, they have to take all of this value and give it to the shareholders of the company. And that's when you see things like companies like Facebook becoming big conglomerates like Meta that now own Instagram and WhatsApp, and actually once upon a time they even tried to buy Twitter. What starts off as a really good product for a consumer ends up becoming this watered down version that we over time learned how to deal with. The more serious byproduct of this though is that all the other companies in the sphere have no option but to adopt some of these features. Take Instagram, for example. It got stories from Snapchat, and then it got reels from TikTok. And now YouTube has shorts as well. So slowly, all of these platforms start converging on all of these features, because if they don't, they have no option but to bow out of the competition. The question I want to ask in this video though, is our species being enshittified? Think about it for a second. You start with content is good and I just need to find it. It's all there. I just need to spend some time looking for it. Then you slowly start giving up your data and privacy, and what you get is a really nice fine-tuned feed, and you're like, okay, I don't care. This way I save a lot of time and it still gives me all the content I really like. And you start sending the algorithm more signals. And then you start clicking on stuff, and what you click on 1 out of 10 times, that one small niche thing that you might be interested in sometimes, that's not as valuable to the algorithm. The thing you click on 9 out of 10 times though, that shiny, engaging thing, that's what's valuable to the algorithm. So it keeps surfacing that. And slowly your multitudes start shrinking. Slowly you're filled with your interests just being fed to you day after day in a feed, literally. And then one fine day, you watched or consumed or read so much of this content that are actually pretty knowledgeable about these niche topics. So you go, hey, maybe I could make content, Exhibit A. And then we start making the content and start putting it out. And while we might not be extracting value for our shareholders, we are trying to extract the value of likes, followers, subscribers, and in some cases, real money for ourselves as creators. Everything you like, all the big things, get shrunk down, pruned, packaged into this neat little user profile. That's when human flattening begins. Human flattening is in the process. Once upon a time, if you wanted to eat something yummy, you needed to cook it yourself. So let's say your grandma made really good chocolate chip cookies. For the rest of the story, I just wanted to take chocolate chip cookies as an example or like a placeholder for art. It's something someone made with love, care, and attention for a very specific purpose. Your grandma made chocolate chip cookies, she taught your mom how to make them, and then you ate them. They were great. And for a long time, this is how art worked. If you wanted to listen to music, you'd have to like either buy the sheet music and learn how to play it yourself or go to a symphony. If you wanted to watch a ballet, you'd have to go watch people dance. You wanted to watch a play, you'd have to go live and watch it. As time went on and as technology progressed, now we can watch movies anywhere. We can listen to music anywhere. We can read books anywhere. It's all awesome. But there was a time in between where the real commoditization of art really began in earnest, almost like the industrial revolution of art. Pop music started getting churned out by these producers in like a cubicle, just like song after song after song. Hallmark movies are all based on the same formula, so that dozens upon dozens upon dozens could be made by the holiday season. Initially, people's alarm bells went off. Oh no, this is gonna kill art. Art's gonna get diluted. It's gonna be polluted. This, that, and the other. But the truth was that it didn't really change the core of art. It just gave people something casual to like throw on for very, very specific purposes. And it, in a way, helped the evolution. It's like when your mom makes cookies, you love them, and every now and then if you really, really want a chocolate chip cookie, you can buy a bag of Chips Ahoy or something. But at the end of the day, it's kinda plastic. While these things that were stacked against each other in terms of quality, at least you had the option to go out and buy a bag of Chips Ahoy. The warning here was pretty benign. Art is gonna die, but it was worth the entertainment. So what happens when we go a stage further? The internet shows up. Now we're all starting to get connected. People are starting to message each other. You're starting to connect with people across the world. You're meeting your old school friends that you haven't met in years thanks to the internet. You're sharing your work, is getting all of this crazy exposure. You can write a blog post and someone across the world can read it. All of this was pretty amazing and still is to a lot of degrees. And the warning here was simple. Hey, this is a lot of data that you're giving away. But, the trade-off at the time was acceptable. Hey, I haven't met this person in years. I get to reconnect with them. It's worth it. Think of it like this. It's like it's still your mom's cookies that you really love, but now they can get shipped to you. It's a little stale by the time they come to you. They're not fresh out the oven, but hey, your mom packed them and sent them, and it still stirs a very similar emotional response inside you. So, win for the cookies. We move to stage 3. This is the internet built just for you. You go to a birthday party, take a bunch of pictures, they're on the internet. You go for a vacation, it's all over the internet. You go out for lunch with a friend, the food's on the internet. You go out for a walk, the picture of the birds is on the internet. You wanna go somewhere, you don't bother asking for directions anymore, you just put on your GPS and go. It's all on the internet. You wanna listen to music, it's on the internet. You get the point. We keep building our digital personas. We keep feeding this internet more and more things, and meanwhile in the back this digital persona feeds this huge engine where the internet can now show us stuff. But this is the stuff we like. It's the clothes you want to buy, it's the food you want to eat, it's all your likes and preferences served to you. And now instead of going out and finding anything, it all just comes to you. And isn't that easy? And the warning bells get a little louder. Hey, 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 they're looking at everything you're doing and they're just selling you the stuff. And we all went, but I do want this stuff. I like these clothes. These are sick. These are exactly what I would buy. I like to go to this place for lunch. This is exactly the food I'd want to eat. Oh my God, I just discovered this new artist. Of course I want to know about better music that I haven't heard yet. So we just accept these things. And one day, you're walking back with a bag of cookies your mom just sent, and meanwhile a small bakery's popped up near your house that has reverse engineered the recipe. And it's not exactly the same, but hey, they're really fresh and they're close enough. But what's the emotional response of eating those cookies? Is there even one at this point? Stage 4 is when now yes, you're the creator. What happens when you spend years upon years, months upon months, consuming videos about just that one thing you kind of really liked, but now you're really into? You yourself become really knowledgeable about those things, and you're like, wait a second, I can do this too. I mean, how does Instagram find 3 billion people to be entertained? How does YouTube find 20 million videos to surface every day to people? It's because it's like people like you and me who decide to hop on and give our opinion too. And now, all of a sudden, they're like, whisper in our ear and go, hey, listen, we'll pay you for your opinion. And a whole new industry springs up. And now, instead of you waiting for your mom's cookies or even going to the bakery to buy them, you become part of the algorithm and are like, hey, I should sell my mom's cookies. This is my authenticity and it's a hot commodity right now. This is what was supposed to happen. That bakery next door, that's not supposed to sell the cookie. I am. This is my mom's recipe. So maybe I should be the one selling the cookie, right? So you go on and you start making this cookie. And for the first time, the warning doesn't come from people outside. It doesn't come from within. It comes from an algorithm telling you, hey, stay in your lane, be niche, make the cookies, otherwise you're in the dunce corner. What do? We build up a multi-billion-dollar industry around making content, because that's what we do as humans in a capitalist society. And well, that brings us to stage 5, which is today, the AI internet. But here, it's happening right now. Whether you look at Project Mythos, which has created zillion cybersecurity bugs, or you just look at slop machines that are good at generating AI video slop everywhere, it's here. You've encountered it whether you like it or not. It's all pervasive, and the warning bells couldn't get louder. Everyone's talking about this. This YouTube video is a reaction to this internet in a way, where the reaction goes all the way from a doomsday, wow, AI is gonna wipe out humanity, to, oh, my job's gonna get stolen because AI can make websites now, to stuff like misinformation being spread and people's phones being hacked and all of this crazy stuff. But at the end of the day, you and I, we voluntarily gave up all our data to make this current future a possibility. The current future, the current present, a possibility. That is no mistake. This was something that's been coming for a second. Whether you think of stuff like Google autocomplete, where you wrote what and it just knew what you were about to search for, to an LLM now, or to an Instagram ad surfaced to you. All of this is not a coincidence. And the content being put out today by all of these machines, by these robots, by these LLMs, it's pretty close, if not already indistinguishable from human-made content. So now you have your mom's cookie in one hand and the AI cookie in one hand, and you can't tell which one is which. And every store has your mom's exact cookies available, and you have no idea how to tell which one is which. So what happens next in stage 6? If at this current stage, at the juncture where we are in history right now, if we don't heed the moment right here, right now, we're gonna go down a slightly dreary path. Because if inevitably we just reach for the convenience of the AI-generated cookie every single time, if we just sit in our little digital bubbles being fed these AI cookies, the algorithm being like, yes, sir, you want more? Here's more. Oh, you wanted to sleep? Oh, here, eat another cookie instead. Oh, you wanted to go meet your friend? But what if you just snuck up in bed and just watch some reels? All of these things are very real, happening to real people right now. And at this moment, if we don't make the conscious call of not always going for the AI-generated cookie, your mom could fly to you, bake you a cookie fresh and try to feed it to you, and you might still go for the AI-generated cookie. And at this stage, there is no warning. No one's gonna warn you, no one's gonna care, because the loop is complete. Human flattening would be complete. And the truth is, we aren't flat right now. We have this small sliver of space. Think of it this way. Let's say we all went to a concert in a physical space or a digital space, didn't matter. But the concert was on headphones and it was tailored just to you. You got a special version of that concert in your ears. How would you be able to leave the concert and talk to other people? Let's say this concert was in a digital world and everyone got their own version of this concert. Is the world more connected even though, let's say, 8 billion people, every single person on the earth was at that concert? Would we say we're connected, or are we just under this weird illusion in a digital bubble of being connected? What would we talk to each other about? What are the things that bind the collective? Culture was always created for an exchange of money. Bach made music for the king. Hollywood makes music for box office profits. There's nothing new here. But behind all of these decisions so far is one thing: the chaos of a human making a decision. Every single moment of hesitation from a studio executive, every 8-hour cited working session from a songwriter, every moment where an artist looks at their tubes of paints and mix those perfect colors. All of these are decisions that would not be objectively the same one day from the next. If I was shooting this video on a different day, this video would be different. All cultural products are made either to generate social currency or real monetary currency. These products would not be the same without the core ingredient of human chaos of their own life and decision making at its center. Culture, in a lot of ways, is our collective human response to our lived experience during a particular time and space. It exists in a specific moment in time and evolves. It's how we take our feelings and emotions and experiences in this current time and space, here and now, and pass it on to future generations who then take parts of that culture and extract what they think is relevant and build on top of it. It's a continuously evolving and building chain. And if we take this one core ingredient and one core reason out of trying to build culture, if we take our own lived experience out and don't have the future taking the good parts and making the bad parts better, then are we making culture? Are we just making content? Because culture is made for the nourishment of a society, whereas content is just made to have your eyeballs stuck to a screen. I know this is funny coming from a blind guy, but it's true. Because things made for social nourishment versus made for just online engagement, this culture versus content idea doesn't really lead to the best outcomes. Take mental health TikToks, for example. There is an abundance of unqualified people giving a bunch of mental health advice. And this field was guarded behind expertise and knowledge, and now is just widely available for anyone to give out as long as you have a camera. The most engaging voices get amplified and sometimes do more harm than good. And behind all of this, gatekeeping is painted as a villain to use all of these unqualified people to go out there and spread sometimes just, frankly, misinformation. And these things can cause real harm. So while enshittification is turning all of these companies into a monoculture, we as living human beings, a living species, what happens to a species when we're reduced to a monoculture? I'm going to give you a really quick example. It is said that sometime in the past, there was a mass extinction event for cheetahs. And cheetahs are very susceptible to diseases. And it was really puzzling for people. Like, why was this happening? Like, even in zoos and controlled environments, cheetahs were just falling sick. And we discovered that almost every cheetah is descended from the same gene pool. And this gene pool biologically makes cheetahs weaker and makes it harder for them to survive. A question naturally arises from this. Why are we hurling ourselves towards a monoculture? The tech we use today is kind of rushing us towards this reality. And it's not because you and I necessarily want, it's because there are a few people, specific people, who want this reality to be true. There are techno giants that you might have heard of. Steve Jobs, Tim Cook, Sundar Pichai, Mark Zuckerberg. These are all people who run our favorite companies. Apple, Google, Facebook, Meta. I don't know if they're our favorite companies, but there's one person you might have never heard of, and his name is Marc Andreessen. Marc Andreessen was part of the initial conversations with Metaverse, cryptocurrency. He's also an advisor to the Department of Homeland Security in America. But more importantly, Marc Andreessen, as his core belief, thinks having a good life in the real world is a privilege. Where you're born, your economic condition, your cultural landscape, all of these give you reality privilege.
right? Most people don't have that level of reality privilege. Like most people grow up in places where there's a much higher level of what you might call intellectual deprivation. There's just not that many people around to talk to. There's just not that many interesting things being discussed.
And everyone having a great life is a right. He's so correct. Everyone should have an amazing life, but not in the real world. He's not interested in making the real world better. Let's just take you and siphon you off into a digital world, because there we can just simulate everything and give you everything you want. And that's the vision of the world these people are trying to build. The digital world can bridge a lot of gaps. It can help someone in a remote area get access to culture that they normally wouldn't have. It can help people start businesses that span the whole world. It can create all of this like cross-cultural collaboration. So this idea is portrayed as this big, empathetic idea of like, oh, we're gonna bring the world together and it's gonna be amazing and we're gonna get all of these people in one place. But is it really one place? Is this really the empathetic argument that it's trying to portray itself as? Because if you don't agree with these people, they have some choice words for you. Luddites, decels, which is a combination of a de-accelerationist and an incel, which is kind of crazy. And while the internet and the digital world was supposed to bridge the gap, it was supposed to bring us closer to our friends, introduce us to new hobbies, make it easier for things, at some point, the bridge kind of became the destination and we didn't see it happen. But when this bridge is worth trillions of dollars, there are a few people very incentivized to keep you on this bridge, and they'll do everything to convince you otherwise. Think about it from their perspective. To make the real world better, you have to go get down there, do policy level work, make actual lives better. But to feel like you own everything in the world, you can just create a digital one and try to siphon as many people into it. Is the answer to not having reality privilege making the world better, or just siphoning us off to this digital world? Because in my opinion, Mark Andreessen's vision is not this compassionate thing that it's being portrayed as. This idea that the world is becoming more and more diverse, that our culture is expanding, is not really true. All our autonomy is being flattened and packaged into these neat little cookies and being shipped away. There are people who lie with their partner in bed at night and both have their phones out and watch separate content on their phones. Is that diversity, or is that separation? If the world was truly getting more and more connected, would we have things like the loneliness epidemic? And the thing is, because we're such a multicolored, multicultural species, we're not like domesticated dogs or cats. There's only so many products you can make for a dog or a cat or a pet that way. Think about the zillions of products that get made for humans. And that's because we're a very diverse species. The thing that makes us special and that gives us the tools to escape this are the same tools that are used to sell us all of this stuff, all of this digital world crap. Price that we're truly paying for all of this is our autonomy. And now you might go, hey, I have free will, I can disengage, but you're watching a video on this platform and I'm making a video on this platform. So truly, how much free will do we have left? At least when it comes to these things. But what's the solution? Are we just supposed to give up using everything that we've grown up with and gotten accustomed to? We can't really take all our tech and burn it to the ground. We rely on this tech every day. We build it from the ground up for our current lives. But this constant reliance on it has got a little out of hand, or rather in our hand. Think about it. The iPhone, the father of modern smartphones, is less than 20 years old. Like, let that sink in. It hasn't been that long since this small device became an extension of who we are, and without it, we feel paralyzed. Even too much oxygen can kill you. We've been slowly turning the dial of synergy towards digital first, but if we're not careful, people whose best agenda is not our lives will take the synergy and run with it. But how do we get there, right? And I don't think we've reached the point of no return with human enshittification. But what we really need to do is celebrate our multitudes. Like I said a little bit ago, human beings are some of the most diverse, most colorful species on the planet. You are not your feed. And just because you didn't find things on a platform on an algorithmic recommended feed doesn't make them boring or uninteresting. So what can we do to start making the synergy work for us instead of us working for the synergy? Well, first and foremost, I think we should start listening to the weaker signals. Let's say you're watching a video or you're online somewhere and the video might be about cars or tech or something, but you like the clothes the person is wearing. Maybe that's a small hint that maybe you're into fashion just a little bit. And this signal is valuable. It's a very low volume signal coming from inside you. And that's what makes it valuable. This is not an algorithm recommending you stuff. It's you. And chasing those low volume signals can take you to places you never thought you might be interested in, or the algorithm doesn't know you're interested in because you never clicked on something like that. I made a whole different video about this next one, which is all of these things that build community with real people. They come at the cost of convenience, and they can be inconvenient. Going out to a concert could be inconvenient. Going out to a play could be inconvenient. Going for a potluck dinner could be inconvenient. It's definitely at least more inconvenient than sitting in your bed and watching reels. But if we don't participate in the act of forming community, because we do have to participate in a community, that's literally the basis of what the word community is, at least for me, then we can slowly settle in to our perceived diversity and our small bubbles, like, oh wow, I'm now engaging with some random music from Africa, which is awesome for what it is. But at the same time, it's just you alone. And we gotta chase those community making signals. And most importantly, there are things that we all like a lot, and then there are some things we like some of the times, just a little bit. And I think we need to be mindful of those small little things not getting flattened away and quantized to a point where there's no return, where all the small interests we have get squashed and we become these almost like facsimiles or parodies of our own selves, because human flattening should never be finished. I mean, think of this YouTube channel for me. At the time of recording this video, there are 76 subscribers. And this video is super long and has taken multiple days to produce. But I'm still doing it because I enjoy doing it some of the time. And it's totally valid to chase things you enjoy doing some of the time. Don't let the algorithm tell you otherwise. Remember, your mom made cookies just for you. So what was it about your mom's cookies? Some days they were burnt, some days they were awesome. Some days they were just the average plate of cookies on the table. The thing though was, they were made with love every day. And I've been talking about this cookie analogy this whole video, but at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that if someone makes something, there's way more to the process than just the end result. It's the effort, the love, the thought, all of that goes in. And that's true for creating stuff too, whether it's content that people frivolously watch in a short form video, whether it's a song that you worked on, whether it's a painting that took years to make. All of this comes from the same place. It's like an expression of human thought and effort. And for the artist, it's more about, as an artist myself, as an artist, it's more about creating something and the process and what it does to us in the process as an artist. And for the audience, when you consume it, what we're trying to do, at least what I'm trying to do, and I've spoken to so many artists, is we're trying to give you a bit of the process and give you a mirror into that experience of what that change was that happened, and like have some version of that happen to you as the audience. So am I going to be mad if tomorrow I ate an AI cookie or like a AI piece of content and like, no, I mean, it's fine. Like, it's not a big deal. I'm not going to like yell from a hill. But if ever given the choice, I'm always going to value the human-made thing every time. Is AI just blanket bad? I don't think so. There's some positive uses of AI. I think there are some areas where AI can help. And especially like if you need to talk to a computer, like it's great, like whatever. But when it comes to connecting with another human being, I don't think it really holds up, because as I was saying, community comes at the cost of convenience. And those same things, the love, effort, and thought that goes into building community is the same thing that goes into cooking a meal for your loved ones. It goes into making art. And at the end of this video, it's kind of hard for me to ask for a like and subscribe and a comment and all of that. In fact, I've put off like shooting this outro for days because there's part of making this video that's like really made me think deeply about what we really need. And I think what we need is like to go out and connect with other people and have these conversations and really put this thought out there and like stress the importance of these things. So if you want to share or like this video, please go for it. But more importantly, call someone you love. Go make something, whether it's like drawing with a crayon on a piece of paper. Just connect with another human being, because if we go down this path and like flatten our multifacetedness, we're gonna kind of lose the plot. And as awesome as the gifts of the digital world are, we have to mitigate the risks. And I really hope we can do that. And this video is like my small part in helping further this conversation. But I don't think human flattening should ever be complete. So until the next point of view, peace.